Hey, Lights is here. Hey, Lights.
It's nice to be back. Thanks
Welcome
for having me. Thank
back.
you.
Record number 6 on the way.
Yes. Crazy.
So we've called it A6. Just straight up album. That's what the A stands for. It's going to be the trivia question forever, right? So we might as well know now.
It's so basic, but it was a working title for a long time because it's album 6. So all the files and all my sessions were called A6 _ whatever song it was going to be. And then after a while, I'm like, man, I made it to album 6. That's a flex.
Yeah.
I've had this for a while. It's more than a lot of artists can say. I'm pretty lucky. So I kind of just went with it for the album title, but also it's a diary size, and I was journaling a lot at that time. It's like a little mini journal size format. So I'm like, it fits a lot of categories that work for the record.
That's cool. And it's interesting you said that because it does, in a weird way, seem like retrospective. Like it's a way to sort of stop and take stock and go, wow, like you say, made it to album 6. Some bands, artists, whatever, they hope to get the first EP out. I mean, you think Best New Artist, that was like 13 years ago at the Junos.
That was 2009. Like, we've been at it.
Even longer.
Yeah, that was 2009. So, yeah, and you're right on it being kind of a retrospective. Like, it's a little bit of everything that I've loved and enjoyed in music over the last number of years, and it's a lot of the stuff that I'm looking forward to or enjoying now. So it just feels like this comprehensive look at my work. And actually, there's a ton of like nostalgic Easter eggs and stuff throughout the record as well, little nods to previous work. So if there's someone who's been a fan for a long time, they'll enjoy those little pickups.
Oh, that's very cool. And then also like making the music videos and the album art and stuff, like getting out into nature at night. Looks a little scary. It's spooky, to be honest with you.
Oh, and the Alive Again video, yeah, that was actually just shot around like the property around my house because I kind of live in the bush, making the most of like the cabin fever feeling. But yeah, I've kind of just enjoyed this time around making really grassroots style content and videos because I have tons of ideas and I have tons of friends that are down to hang and work on stuff with me. So it's just been so fun making all this stuff. Like, I've been shooting actually a ton of content for the whole thing, and I'm excited to share it all. Most of it will come out when the record comes out May 2nd. But yeah, just finding cool spots that really feel like the aesthetic of the record and feel like what the album should convey is a feeling. It's a feeling record. Like it's got a bit of melancholy all through it, but also a bit of excitement, and then a bit of nostalgia, but a bit of like current Berlin vibes. I went to Berlin to rap a lot of the record. So I'm just like, what is going to feel the best to show the visual on this song?
And that's what's great about this point in your career too, right? Like, and even just the way the music industry is now. Like, you go back and you're making that first EP and you're putting that out there and you're hustling, you're at the bars and stuff like that. And now it's like something's good, it's ready to go. Let's get it out. Let's have the people see what it is. And I can be creative because I'm surrounded by all these creative people. It's just such a different vibe, the way the music industry is in general.
Oh my gosh, it's so different in so many ways. There's not the same rollout in any regard. Like, actually, I was intending on taking a break for a while from the Lights project. I was like, you know what? I'm going to like let myself go explore different things. And I have a side project that I do that's sort of heavier, mid-tempo bass music. So I'm like, I'm gonna just focus on other things. And then I accidentally kind of finished the record. And that's when stuff happens, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, no worries. I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, I'm just going to keep writing these songs, whatever. Oops, the record's done. And that was at the top of last year. I realized, like, by March, I'd written the last song for it. And so I started kind of finishing it and wrapping it. And like, wow, here we go. Here's a record. So you just kind of have to go with it. Like you said, follow the inspiration and just let it all happen, because there is no right or wrong way to do things anymore.
Exactly.
As an artist, you have to be like a content maker and a graphic designer and a producer and a dancer and a comedian and a black belt. Like, I don't know, you have to do it all. So you just kind of trust your instincts. And at this point, at A6, album 6, I think I've honed my instincts enough to know what will work for me.
Yeah. And we'll get that record on May 2nd. I was looking through some stats, because the stats all come in on...
We love stats.
Lights. Yeah, that's right. A big stats guy. Baseball. It's the first day of baseball season.
You're all in the stats mode.
You have just shy of 500 million streams of your songs.
Wow, that's actually crazy.
I was trying to wrap my head around that, because for a long time it was like, oh, we've sold 10,000 copies of this, we sold 100,000 copies of this. But you don't think about people listening to it over and over again. They bought the record, and that's good. But the re-listens, 500 million. The amount of Saturday nights where people have been like, we gotta get the party going. What should we play? Throw some Lights on. Like,
let's put some sad girl stuff on. I love that. And that's not even, like, I've been doing this for a long time, and I think, we didn't get Spotify until half my career ago. So it's cool. That's really cool to hear. Thanks for sharing that stat with me.
It just jumped off the page like 500 million streams. It's just such a crazy amount. June 7th as well. You're in town to play History.
Yeah, wrapping the tour at History. It's gonna be, then that sold out in like a day. That was crazy. That was really cool. I mean, you do spend so long making the music and putting stuff out there and hustling through your life and your career, and when something like that happens, you're just like, oh my gosh, people care about the music, and that feels really good.
Yeah, and you as a person, to be fair, because you've been awesome on social media and stuff. And the thing is too is that what I think is great about the projects and the releases that you've done is that this isn't just people buying tickets for a nostalgia. They're excited for new lights. There's plenty of bands that sell tickets on nostalgia, but people are actually excited for new music from you. So we look forward to that May 2nd.
I love that. I think, it's so funny. There's like two different perceptions. I mean, there's two different kinds of fans, I guess. Some that like the nostalgic stuff, the old stuff, been around since '08, And then there's people who are on for the ride into the new stuff. Or maybe there's people that have come just for the new stuff. I don't know. But there's two songs that we're actually going to pit against each other for those kind of fans coming up in like the next couple weeks. Just as a fun side thing, I'm putting two videos out that will be in tandem with each other. And one is it's going to be like a poll. Like one is for the old fans, one is for the fans of the new stuff. Because it is such a present idea. It's like some people haven't been caught up. Some people only remember lights from like back in the MySpace days.
February Air.
That's the nod for sure. So I think I can acknowledge and have the self-awareness to know like, there is actually two kinds of like streams of thought regarding my career, and I kind of love it. I love that you can choose your path and choose your weapon about like what you like about my shit.
You're okay. You're good. You're all good. Shit. See, we're all on the same page now.
Oh yeah, this isn't live, so we're good. You can blame me.
MySpace. I love that you mentioned that because it was the MySpace days were wild. And then finally, this is really important because we talk about social media, and I saw on your Instagram, we need to discuss skincare because you were not putting on your sunburn was outrageous. Is that what I saw? Was that you or your friend?
I'm in pain right now.
Outrageous.
Thank you for noticing. That was rough. I put a lot of love in my skin. I care about that stuff. And we got out to we went to these dunes to shoot something. And I was like, I'm going to put on sunscreen. We get out there. I'm going to put on sunscreen. I didn't. And I had a really strappy, crazy shirt on. So now I have the most whack burn tan. It's not good.
One time I was in Jamaica and someone put the spray sunscreen on my back and I was like, oh, that's great. And they didn't rub it in and I had this like zebra.
No.
Just the worst. Sometimes you get one of those sunburns and make sure you'll never get a sunburn again.
Yeah, take care of yourself after that.
Maybe this is it. Yeah.
Yeah, take care of yourself out there. It's rough.
Take care of yourself. We'll see you May 2nd with a new record May 2nd. Then we'll see you June 7th at History. Thanks so much for your time, Lights.
Thank you so much for having me back.